What's up, everybody? 289 coming at you today, and this time we have another Marvel Crisis Protocol video. And this time we're going to be talking about the Season 7 roster stats. Right now we're kicking off the League Season 7. I'm involved in that. I will be playing a Brotherhood roster with the additions of Juggernaut and Rogue and the surprise Colossus, who's not in my roster. But I want to give the Brotherhood a shot this season and see how well I can do with them. And I think I'll be playing with the Brotherhood for the better part of the year. Or maybe half the year, and just try to get them to do well and to do well with them. I've always enjoyed playing with Magneto. I just felt like they just needed some more characters. They got great tactics cards. I just needed some more characters in there, and they got it. So I'm gonna have a good time with them, and I enjoy playing Magneto and all that stuff. But without further ado, if you guys can't do me a favor, dislike the video, comment down below. Give me your thoughts on League Season 7 stats. And subscribe to the channel, man. Help me out. I'm up to 100 subscribers. I never thought I'd get here, man. Thank you guys very much. I'm on the road to 1,000. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers, man, and I'll up the content. I'll do something. I don't know. I got to think of something if I ever get to 1,000. Without further ado, though, let's get to these stats. And these stats are presented by Xavier Protocols, the numbers guy, as I call him, in the MCP community. When he gets these numbers, man, they're insane. They're really good. So it gives you just a thought process on just where the game is headed, basically, and what people think is strong, and what they're going with. So let's take a look at this right now. If you see that picture right there, I guarantee you there's gonna be a ton of people taking Dr. Voodoo. If you're not taking Dr. Voodoo, I don't know what to tell you. So right now we have 273 rosters. I think that's up from last season, which is really good. I have to take a look at what the total rosters were for last season, but I think that's up. That's really, really good. That's awesome. So right now we got for Central, and the league is broken down into 4 different divisions. We have the Central, Europe, West, and Oceania. 103 for Central, 76 for Europe, 58 for West, 36 for Oceania. Oceania? I don't know. Affiliation Breakdown. So right now, what we're seeing here is single affiliated is at 70%. Duels at 28, and triple, which I don't know how you would get 3, but I can see how you could do it, but it'd be tough. 2%. Surprising here. I thought this would be a little closer in the numbers. I feel like going dual affiliate is a little stronger in this format. But I mean, the people don't think so. I mean, they're majority going single affiliated, which is interesting. Right now, the breakdown across the board is 71% in Central. How I'm looking at this is 71% in Central are single affiliated, so that means 28 and for the rest of it. Europe is 71, West is 66, Oceania 75. For dual affiliation, 28% across the board, 27% in Central, 28% in Europe. And the West is very, very it looks like it's closer there in the West, so it's 34% and 19% in Oceania. Kind of interesting there. I thought I'd see more dual affiliated rosters, to be honest with you. I went single affiliated, but I do have 2 leaderships along with Mystique, so that's interesting. That's interesting. I really thought this would be up, but it's rather down. That's interesting to see. We'll see what happens here. So let's go with the most popular affiliations across the board. And the Avengers are the most popular, followed by Brotherhood and Mutants, which is not surprising because they got the new stuff, and I feel like people want to try them out with the new additions of Juggernaut and Rogue, and who cares about Colossus? I'm kidding, but Colossus is there. But yeah, the Avengers are still strong. I was at LVO recently, and they were the strongest. They had the most representation out of all the affiliations. Which was surprising to me. I thought I'd see more Web Warriors, but we're seeing Avengers, and I think the reason behind this is, they're in the core box. They're strong, obviously. They're really, really strong, especially with the changes to Captain America and Hulk and all that, and they have a deep roster, and that's it's not surprising, but it is, because I thought maybe we see more Web Warriors. I thought the Brotherhood were going to take the top of this list, but it's by a percentage point, so it doesn't matter. So that's pretty cool. So right now, this breakdown. So right now it's Avengers, Brotherhood, Criminal Syndicate, Guardians of the Galaxy, which is definitely not surprising. Everybody loves the Guardians. They're very popular and they're really good. With the change to Star-Lord's leadership, that team is just a threat. And you can just have so many splashes with them because they're so cheap. And you have Web Warriors down at 5th right now. Is that how I'm looking at that? Yeah, Web Warriors down at 5th. Midnight Suns at 6th. Black Order. And then Convocation. Spider Foes are down there at 7%. And then it just honestly just cascades down from here. These are probably the most the least popular factions right now. Even though I thought I'd see more Spider Foes players. With the changes of the Green Goblin, I mean, he's very fun to play. I have a good time with him. I mean, I have a lot of rosters. I have a decent amount of rosters that revolve around Spider Foes, like mostly splashed with Criminal Syndicate because they go off. They work off each other so well because they have a lot of cross appeal, right? That's fine. I mean, I thought I'd see this up here a little bit more, maybe more, ahead of Convocation at least. Definitely not over Black Order or Midnight Suns or anything like that, but that's the surprise for me. Brotherhood, not a surprise that they're second, but the thing with me is I think when the roster cut happens, I think we're going to see that drop a bit. Not by a lot, but I think we'll see it drop a bit. Just because I think people are trying this out, and it's going to depend on if they do well or not. I see like other affiliations that people have been working on for, like for example, I think Avengers will do really well. I think Criminal Syndicate will do really well, and I think Guardians will do really well because people have been playing those affiliations frequently, a lot more frequently, along with Web Warriors and Midnight Suns. I think they will outshine after 3 weeks, and I think people will transition into other rosters, and I think the Brotherhood will drop, and I think other affiliations will increase over time. So that's interesting. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if my prediction comes true. I think that's what'll happen. Now, what's interesting? Now we got to look at the characters. That's where I think where you see the meta heading with the game, in my opinion. Dr. Voodoo's taking up 45% of the rosters. I mean, he's just an amazing character. The fact that he can build up, the thing about him is like Brother Daniel's really strong, really, really strong. It's not hard for him to do. The fact that he has a range 3 mystic attack that has sap, and along with his innate, or I think that's his innate, that if he rolls a failure, he can gain a power. I mean, he doesn't have to do damage to you at all to gain power on you. That's what's really strong with him. Not just that, the Brother Daniel token does not return unless he's KO'd or he calls it back. Which I think will get changed at some point. I don't want to... What I want to see with Brother Daniel, I know people have said, hey, just make it an action. I don't want to see it as an action because with Brother Daniel, at least in my... you never... It varies how much power to spend on the character, right? So it can be a 3 power cost, it can be a 4, it can be a 5, it can be a 6. It just depends on the character you're trying to take the objectives off of. So it just varies. So that's why I don't want to see it as an action. But what I want to see change with it is that once he's dazed, the token returns. That is my opinion. The fact that you daze him and doesn't return, I just find ridiculous. But not a surprise there. And like I said, he can get the 3 power with no problem doing nothing. He can walk up, keep his power, do an attack. If he gets 1 sap on you, and if he rolls a failure and do no damage, he will be at 3 power. And if it's a 3 threat that is there, having the objective, he can just spend the 3 power, take it off, and then there you go. He can be a 2-point swing, turn 1, and you don't have to hit him. So. So he's a great character. He's a 4 threat, not very expensive either. I mean, for a 4 threat, he's really strong, so you can find a way to fit him in. He fits in damn near every roster. So not a surprise there. Black Cat, I find, is one of the dumbest characters in the game. She has stealth. She's a long mover. Same thing. I mean, her steal is not an action. I don't know how that was missed with Enchantress. Getting that as an action. Steal should be an action. If you feel differently, I don't know why you do. You must not have played against a lot of Black Cat or strong players that have played with Black Cat. She's ridiculous. It not being an action, she can just top a turn 2, gain a power, or she's already at a 3 power, steal your objective, grappling hook, walk, and with stealth, who is catching her? It's not going to happen. So she's going to have the objective and just run away, and now you have to find a game plan to take the objective off of her or just whatever. If you combine that with Dr. Voodoo, they deny and gain they just deny so many points from you, and it's just not a great experience. I just hope these two get addressed, and I don't want them, and here's the thing, I don't want them to get addressed to a point that they're not played. I still want them to do these shenanigans. I just want it to be just fair. Like, that's it. And I feel like if you just either make it an action on Dr. Voodoo or have him daze and it returns, I think it fixes the problem. Oh, And the fact that it's not once per turn. Dr. Voodoo's ability is not once per turn. It's not. So that it should be once per turn. Okay? Make it once per turn, and I think that fixes the problem. You can get away with it not being in action. Mike DeLuca mentioned that, so I 100% agree with that. Black Cat, make the steal in action. She's a fine character. Oh, and her Troublemaker is ridiculous. I think that should be wild or something. It shouldn't auto stagger. You just auto stagger people, and it's insane. I should do something with that too. Outside of that, if they just make those minor changes, I think they're fine characters, and I think people will still play them. Toad, solid 2-threat. One of the best 2-threats in the game. One of the best extract grabbers in the game. And he's cheap. He fits on everywhere. If you're trying to get like a middle objective on an F extract, and you want to make it as safe as possible, he's one of those characters. And he's cheap. He won me a lot of games in LVO, by the way. Bullseye, not a surprise. He's chip damage all day. He just sits there, throws knives, sits on an objective, and just basically, if there's a character with 1 damage left, he just kills you. That's it. Love him. Lizard, not a surprise. One of the tankiest 3 threats in the game. He's hard to kill. He's an amazing character, and I love that people are playing him a lot. He's a fun character to play. He's tanky as hell. He just does so much work. Now I'm starting to understand why his builder doesn't generate +1 power. They did a really good job balancing Lizard. I take back everything I said about his builder. The push size 3 is just amazing. He's tanky. -1 damage and heals. What can I say? Juggernaut, not a surprise. One of the best 5 threats in the game. He can just move, gain 2 power. Do I am the Juggernaut. I am the Juggernaut is not once per turn. He can continuously keep doing that. Very strong with Brotherhood. You can just walk. I am the Juggernaut. Go through a terrain feature. Hand out your power. And he can just go up and grab an extract and still walk away. Especially on hammers, you can just like put a construct or something in front of him, walk, gain power. I'm the Juggernaut. Go through the terrain, hand out power to Juggernaut into somebody else, and then he can go get the objective, walk back. It's really strong. Rogue, not a surprise. She's going to be one of the best 4 threats in the game. She's got a 2 power charge. She also has a sap power in her attack. She can change it from physical to energy. She can sap power away as a superpower. Not a surprise. With the uptick in Brotherhood, Scarlet Witch, not a surprise here. Hood is a surprise. He's right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's the 8th most taken character so far. That's a surprise. He's good. He's solid. He's got some really crazy shenanigans. His healing is really good. I think people are taking him more with Criminal Syndicate. I could be wrong there. With his heal, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, when he turns into the lizard thing that he could turn into, he could fuck up a lot of characters, dude. With when he turns into that thing. So I'm just surprised. I think he'd be maybe top 20, like down there, but that's 9th. I mean, there's 8. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he's 9th. So that's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Raccoon, not a surprise. He got a lot of buffs. He got a decent amount of buffs, and he's a solid 5 threat. Mystique, I think it's just a Brotherhood thing. Baron Zemo, not a surprise. He's still solid. Honey Badger, Ghost Rider. A lot of Guardians lists are taking him. Midnight Suns are taking him. So not a surprise there. He's a very, very strong 5 threat. Iron Fist, not bad. Hulk, I thought I'd see him a little bit more. But 14%, he's taken in almost every Avengers roster. I don't see him splashing in other teams, but you never know. Koye, still seeing some love here. I mean, that's very, very surprising with her nerf to the range 4 gun, not gaining power, and then the reroll change too as well. Very surprising. Venom, not surprised. I mean, I thought Venom would be up here a little bit more, maybe where Honey Badger is. I'm surprised Honey Badger is up here. And the other one I'm not seeing is X-23. Granted, I thought X-23 would be up here represented some more. X-23 is a character that I wanted to put in my Brotherhood roster, and I put somebody else in. I'm toying with as I'm playing locally here in real life games, I'm going to be toying with X-23 in my Brotherhood lineup and see how that goes. I have some decent plays with X-23 with Brotherhood that I want to give a shot, and we'll see if she makes it into my roster after season 3. I mean, after week 3. But I'm surprised. I thought X-23 would be up here with like Baron Zemo or something. The fact that she's down here, I mean, it's not by far either, by like 3 or 4 percentage points. I thought I'd see her a lot more. Thanos too, but that's okay. I mean, now we're seeing where the meta is right now in the beginning. We'll see it fluctuate after season 3, right? We'll see what happens. And I think everything else here is just pretty standard. I'm more surprised about Hood being here. You know what? I thought X23 would probably be here, and Hood will probably be somewhere down here. Now that I'm thinking about it. Everything else is just pretty standard here. Corvus is down. It looks like 8%, but I don't think there's a lot of Brotherhood. Black Order players. Which Black Order is strong as hell right now. I think maybe Corvus is going in some splash lists with like Criminal Syndicate. Maybe that's the deal here, but interesting list here. Interesting land. Poor Daredevil, 0%. Poor guy. Viper. No one ever plays Viper. Ant-Man went down. I thought Ant-Man with Criminal Syndicate was strong. I guess not anymore. Maybe there's just other rosters. Maybe other people do what he does better. I don't know. Really interesting. Let's take a look at the crises. Demons Downtown, up there at 41%. Infinity Formula, 34%. Intrusions is up. I think we're going to see a lot more intrusions. Not surprised here. That's 3. That's number 3. I think Brotherhood rosters love this. With the fact that you can just roll a die and reposition, pick another spot, and that's where you go. It helps Magneto out a lot, by the way. With his, people, they'll push him up, but then he can find a way to get closer to a character just by rolling a die. And the die rolling should be in your favor, even though I've missed on it the past 7 out of 10 times. Still good. Mutant Madmen, very popular. The point cost is good. Right now it's 4th. It's pretty good. Gamma Wave is still top 5 here, which is not surprising. Gamma Wave is one of those secures I hate playing against. It's just the point swing in it's like really high, and it's just a like the mindset to play is just it's king of the hill basically. That's it, and I get bored of it. It's whatever. Riots, Extremis is a very popular D secure. Criminal Syndicate love that. Web Warriors love that. Trying to think of other teams that like that too, but this not surprising here. It's a really good secure. Superpowered Scoundrels, I thought I'd see this increase. I thought maybe I'd see it right here where Mutant Madman is, but it's not. But it's still in 23% of the rosters right now. That's a nice representation. Terrigen, I don't know who's taking that right now at 22%. See, what I like about this is we got a decent spread of secures. Like, everything's being taken. I'm glad Sword went down. I hate Sword. Sword is one of those stupid secures that I'm not a fan of. If the point costs were a little bit higher, like at 16 or something, I think I'd like it more. It's at 14. I don't like 14 threat. I think it's stupid. But I like it because it makes you think about your roster and what you want to take. I hate it because the play style is like, okay, you win it. It's a 50-50 die roll, and then you get to push somebody. And the game, if you never control this, the game just ends after like turn 2 or 3. You just don't win. It's kind of a negative play experience sometimes. So that's why I don't like it. Meteors is going down. I don't think people like playing Meteors anymore. Honestly, I don't like playing it anymore either. Mayor Fisk is like down to 6%. I thought I'd see this increase with the Criminal Syndicate players up there, but that's fine. 6%. Interesting. Extracts, Fear Grip. This is not a surprise. I love playing Fear Grip. Fear Grip is an amazing extract. This is one of the more well-designed extracts in the game, I think, in my opinion. That's not a surprise that it's at 60%. Alien Ship is not a surprise at 45%. I think we're going to get more into attrition lists with Brotherhood. And I think this is just a Brotherhood extract, in my opinion. Granted, Brotherhood and Black Order, really good. Slows the gameplay down and can just set up your attrition plays and all that stuff and just start taking people out. Research Station, seeing an uptick with the Criminal Syndicate. Avengers love this. More so, Sam, Avengers list, likes this a lot. Deadly Legacy Virus, this thing is dumb. I'm not surprised. Web Warriors love this. Any team that can find a way to assemble Exodia really quickly, they're going to love this. It's not a surprise. The point level is good, too. I mean, if you notice right now, look at the point levels here. 18, 20, 16, 19. Very high. Spider Infected, really good FX tract. A lot of Guardians love this. Spider foes love this. You can just spread out and grab it, and it's really cool stuff. Scrolls, which is interesting. I think attritionalists want a second extract that slows down the game, so that way they can just start killing things, and the points aren't, the point, you don't get outscored. So that's a 17. That's a 24%. That's pretty good. Struggle for the cube. Again, I think Guardians like this too, along with Spider foes. So this is at 22%. So I'm curious to see who else took it. Mystical Cotton Herbs at 21%. Interesting. I'm interested to see who took these extracts here. I mean, that is up. That is up. Senator, 21%, tied with that as well. Really interesting things that are going on here. The Montesi Form is at 18%. So you don't see a huge drop off like you see for Mayor Fisk down here at 6%. So the extracts seem to be rather outside of Fear Grip. If you go down here, it seems to be pretty tight knit. Granted, I mean, there's a big drop off from not really. I mean, it's a 15% drop off from Fear Grip to Alien Ship, and then 15%, and then from here it's just kind of close. That's really interesting. Extracts seems like it's tighter knit. Is where I'm trying to get to. Let's get to the tactics cards. Let's go. Indomitable, not a surprise at 66%. That card is great. That's gonna be on the next probably restricted list. We'll see how it goes. Indomitable is just a really strong card. 2 power. If a character decides to push or throw you, spend the 2 power, negates it, and they lose a power cost for that. It's really strong. Med Pack. Really easy card to use. Heal 3. Keeps your characters alive. Brace for impact, not a surprise, with throws being really strong. It's brace for impact. You find a way to play it every game, and it saves you, man. When someone needs to get a key kill on you, and they can't because they use the throw at the end. To try to finish you off with 1 health left, and they can't because of brace. It's just so strong. Field dressing is still strong. Bring back a character if you can. It's really good. There is play around field dressing, but it's still strong. If you bring back a character that just got dazed, and then they can just put in the work, and if you combine it with this and med pack, hey, I came back, I killed your characters. Oh, I healed 3. Now I got to do it all over again and try to kill them. It's really strong. Sacrifices. I love that this card is seeing more play. This is a really good card. Sacrifice is an amazing card. It's a card that I would have to say that people forgot about that in the first couple of seasons that this game was played. I think it picked up season 5. I think towards the end of season 5, I saw more Sacrifice being played. And then I think season 6, that card got bumped up a lot. I have to go look at those numbers again. But the Sacrifice, I'm glad to see that up there at 31%. Advanced R&D, I thought would get a hit, but people are still playing it. It's still strong. It's just you have to play it differently now. And I like the way you have to play it now versus what you had to play before. I thought the way you had to play it before was kind of stupid. I think what it does now is excellent. Blind Obsession at 30%. Wow. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8. That's top 8. That's in the top 10. Climbing Gear 9, not surprising with Magneto. And with the uptick in Criminal Syndicate. It helps out both those characters. Bitter Rivals is down. I think Bitter Rivals got hurt 2 ways. It's on the restricted list. And 2, not that it shouldn't be. I'm just saying this is what happened. Restricted list. And then 2, I think the random selection hurt Bitter Rivals because I think there's far less down the middle secure and extra plays. And the fact that it's random now, you can't really force that. If you have one down the middle that makes Bitter Rivals strong, you don't really have that choice anymore. So I think those 2 situations hit Bitter Rivals, and I think Bitter Rivals is going to go down further. Not by much, but I feel like it'll go down maybe 14, 15%. Well, you know what, maybe 20%. I think that'll go down further, honestly. It's just my opinion. It's still a great card. It's still a phenomenal card. Right now, I think there's other cards that are better. Mission Objective, that's going to bump up with the fact that people are going to be playing more viruses and all that. I think that'll go up. I'm surprised that it's down here 23%. Mark for Death is up. Thank the Lord. I've been waiting for this card to see some play. It's a great card. It forces your character to move small and kill stealth. So this is a response to Black Cat and Web Warriors. So do you know who I am? This is because everybody's playing. A lot of people are playing Juggernaut. Juggernaut is a fun character to play. He's a great 5 threat. That's why this is here. This high, and it'll increase because people are going to be playing the Juggernaut more. Disarm, I think, will go up a little bit too. Heroes for Hire is at 21%. Deception, because it's Mystique is a strong character. I just think there's just more Brotherhood play. Exceptional Healing, the fact that X23 is around, and we have more healing factor characters. I think this will bump up too, because I think X23 will bump up after the season 3 once people get more play with her and understand. That's going to bump up. Deal with the Devil, I think that's going to stay here. Asteroid M will bump up because I think there will, well, we'll see, because in my opinion, I think Brotherhood will taper a little bit after week 3, and maybe other things will we'll see how it happens. We'll see what happens. The only reason why I'm saying that is because we'll see how well other rosters do versus other rosters, right? I think with the new stuff, I think people are going to get not going to be used to playing with the Brotherhood and doing what I think they're going to struggle a bit, and I think that's what'll taper off. I think some of the players that aren't used to them and are playing them in this competitive environment and getting used to playing with the Brotherhood, I think it'll go down because maybe they're not as successful and just go to something else and go with a strong suit. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. And everything else is kind of standard from here. I mean, nothing really surprising. I think the surprising thing here is Sacrifice is up. Blind Obsession is up, which is rather surprising. It's a really strong card. Just surprising to see it this high. Mission Objective, that's increased. It's strong with the Criminal Syndicate. It's strong with Web Warriors, and it's a strong tech card for you in general. If you're not playing any of those affiliations, it's a strong card. I mean, if somebody comes up and dazes a character and you're losing an objective, this can help you keep that objective and keep the score as parity. So we'll see. I think that's it. I mean, everything else is just whatever. This talks about just the rest of it here, and that's fine. It is what it is. That's it, guys. This is all the notes for the Season 7 rosters. Let's see what happens. I'm really excited for this season. I'm playing the Brotherhood and seeing what I can do with them. And I'm playing them all throughout. I'm just going to make minor changes. After week 3, we'll see what happens with the roster changes and everything like that. This is going to be a fun season. A lot of changes. I don't think we'll see like a top 8 Sam Spam anymore. I think we'll have a more spread out top 8, in my opinion, with the random crisis selection. That's what I think will happen. We'll see. I don't know. It's just an opinion, a hot take. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below about these stats, and give me your thoughts in general about the season 7 in general. What do you think's gonna happen? What do you think will change in the numbers here? What character do you see after week 3? How do you think the rosters are gonna be? How do you think the players are gonna do? What do you think they're gonna do with the rosters? Basically, is what I'm trying to get at. I'm sorry, I can't phrase this question really well. We're like 28 minutes in on this video, and I'm like already need some water. So definitely let me know your thoughts down below. Dislike the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. I will have more content, and keep an eye out. I will have Hyper on either today or tomorrow. I'm gonna have to get back in touch with him. I got to look at my schedule again, and that interview will be out sometime this week. And keep an eye out for that, and hopefully more reveals. We haven't had any reveals, which I'm kind of sad about. I thought AMG would have something for MCP, but guess not. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful, blessed day out there. Keep playing MCP, and good luck to you, everyone out there who's playing in Season 7. Have a wonderful day.